Hi everybody, let's quickly have a look at Dow Jones, aka US30. And as you guys can see, we are on the monthly chart. And on the monthly chart, we can see that the market has created an overextended W structure at this point. It's an overextended W structure because the first leg is much higher than that second leg, right? And you guys know that whenever it comes to W structures, we normally have a lot of traders and investors buying on that second leg, only to place their stop losses just below. So in the future, we will definitely see the market come down to around this level, just like with NASDAQ 100, to grab all of those stop losses that are sitting there, because there is money that needs to be triggered by the market, right? Anyway, what else do we see, guys, in regards to this particular index? Another thing that is also very much interesting is that we had a very big M structure at this point. In fact, let me just draw it. Let's see. We had a very big structure here in the form of an M formation, which had a neckline at that point, right? And we saw price breaking to the bottom side of that neckline and then heading back to the neckline to test it. And at this point is where we would have looked for potential selling opportunities. And then we saw price coming back again to just retest that neckline, right? And we can see that that neckline at this point in time is holding. And what this tells us is that we might potentially see the market push further down. We might potentially see the market push further down, right? Nonetheless, just keep in mind that because we have this very nice overextended W structure over here, we might also potentially see the market push to that level to complete the structure. And the structure actually has also a neckline at that point. And as I said, we might see the market push further down to the we might see price push further down to the neckline to test it. And at this point is where we might also see price move further up, right? So what am I saying? What I'm saying in other words is that this area over here is a very risky area in as far as buying or selling, and that is because we have two opposing structures. Number one, as I said, guys, we have this M structure. Let me just actually draw it properly. We have this M structure, which actually has a neckline at that point. And number two, we have this overextended W structure, which also has a neckline at that point, right? So what could happen is that the market could go up or down, but it's a bit risky as far as buying or selling at this point. But let's head down to the smaller time frames to see if we can possibly get away with this, right? Anyway, from here, what I'm going to do is head down to the weekly chart, and here we are on the weekly chart. And just to recap, guys, remember, I spoke about how we have this level over here, and it is the neckline of this big W structure, and it's also the neckline of that big overextended this is the M structure, and this is the W structure. Sorry about that. Nonetheless, let's continue. What else do we see, guys? What else do we see in regards to the weekly chart of US30? And now that we are on the weekly chart, right? Let's have a look. So as much as, guys, I said that we have this overextended W structure, can you also see that we have an opposing structure as well, another opposing structure in the form of an M formation? Can you guys see that? And it also has a neckline at that point, right? And what may possibly happen is that price may push down to close below that neckline, and what we would do next is to wait for the market to head back to the neckline to test it. And if price holds this level over here, we will then look for potential selling opportunities, and our take profit should be this level over here, right? Why do I say this level? That is because that's more or less where the M structure started, which is at this point over here. And ideally, I would love to see, if this does indeed happen, price close at this level to complete this very nice M structure. So what I'm going to do now is just add a neckline, right? As I said, guys, buying or selling where the market currently is a bit risky, because as I said, the market may go in either direction, right? Anyway, let's proceed, guys. So what else do we see? What else do we see on this weekly chart? At this point, I don't see much. I'm just going to head down to the daily chart. Let's have a look. Here we are on the daily chart. On the daily chart, I'm just going to add my daily channel. Let's see. How would I add my daily channel? I would add it in this manner. Just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me, guys, while I fix my channel. There we go, more or less. There we go. Right. And in regards to the daily channel, we can see that as much as we have this very strong bullish move, we can see that the market actually is in a downward trajectory, right? So as I said, guys, we might potentially see price actually do something like this, only to close at this point in line with where it started. Can you guys see that? Right. Anyway, let's proceed, guys. So what else do we see, guys? What else do we see on the daily chart that we should be paying attention to? Let's have a look. I don't see much, guys, really. But what I can say is that we can see also that we have this area over here where price has been moving in a range, and a breakout is really imminent at this point, right? However, myself personally, I would love to see price push further down to close below this level, right? However, we also have this candlestick over here, which is a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick, and it tells us that we have a lot of liquidity at the top where it ends. And as much as we have that M structure, right, and I know that a lot of people also are expecting price to actually move further down because of this M structure. But what may possibly also happen is we might see price actually shoot further up to not only grab the liquidity at this point over here at that level, but also to grab the stop losses that are sitting at this point, because a lot of traders and investors actually sold on the second leg of this M structure, only to place their stop losses just above that structure, right? So but just also keep in mind, guys, that on the bigger time frames, on the monthly time frame, I spoke about how we have this big M structure over here, which has a neckline at that point, and I said that the neckline is being retested at this point in time, and we might potentially get a reversal of sorts. Just keep that in the back of your mind, right? Also, remember, I also spoke about that overextended W structure, which also has a neckline at that point, and what may possibly happen is we might see price closing above this level, coming back to test it, and at this point moving further up to complete the structure at around this level over here, right? Just keep that in the back of your mind as we proceed, right? Anyway, from here I'm just gonna head down to the daily chart, so just bear with me, guys. Daily chart, there we go. Oh, sorry, we are on the daily chart. Let's head down to the H4 chart. Let's have a look. Just gonna fix my channel. Let's see. There we go, right? And here we are on the H4 chart. What do we see on the H4 chart, guys? What do we see on the H4 chart? Just to recap a bit, remember, on the daily chart we spoke about this M structure, right? And that a lot of traders and investors actually sold on that second leg of that M structure, putting their stop losses just above, and that we might see a stop hunt to the top to grab all of those stop losses. Also, I spoke about how we have this candlestick on the daily chart, which is carrying all of that liquidity, and that liquidity represents money that needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. So as much as we have that M structure, there is scope actually for the market to continue to push further up, right? Anyway, what else do we see, guys, now that we are on the H4 chart? In fact, before we proceed, I'm going to start off by adding my H4 channel as well, so just bear with me, guys, while I do so. Let's see, H4 channel. I would add my channel more or less in this manner. Right, and in regards to the H4 chart, we can see that we are in an upward trajectory, right? As you guys can see, right, we're in an uptrend in as far as the H4 chart goes. But as far as the daily chart goes, we are in a downtrend, and we might potentially actually see price push further down, right, after perhaps stop hunting, right? Anyway, what do we see, guys, now that we are on the H4 chart? At this point, I don't see much, guys. I really don't see much, but I can also see that the market at this point is at a very strong level of resistance. Actually, it's actually testing the neckline, I would say, of this M structure, this bigger M structure. Can you guys see that? It's testing that neckline, and at this point we might potentially get a reversal of sorts as well, right? And to add to that, just bear in mind that we also have this level over here, right? We have this level over here. It's a very strong level of support as well, and that is because we have an inverted head and shoulders pattern at this point, the side being the left shoulder, this being the head, and this being the right shoulder. And if we do indeed at this point, which is the neckline of this M structure, see price close below and push further down, the market may only head down to this level to test the neckline of this inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we might then potentially see it push up or even further down, right? Nonetheless, as I said, guys, remember, just to go back to the daily chart, I said that price really at this point in time is at a very strong level of support and resistance, because we have those two structures. Number one, we have that big M structure that I spoke about on the monthly chart, and number two, we have that big W structure that I spoke about on the same chart as well, and they both have necklines at more or less the same area, and price currently is at this point. So buying or selling, guys, here is going to be tricky. We just need to ensure that we use good money management, and we are up to speed in regards to whatever it is that the market is trying to do, right? Anyway, that is it, guys, as far as my analysis goes. I just hope it makes sense, and if you have any further questions, just let me know. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and also like the actual content. Thanks, guys, and peace out.